wait. Oh! The deer did it. Straight up. The deer killed me. We all saw it. Welcome back, guys. I thought we'd do a bit of a different video today. I thought we would do a guide to Valheim survival on day 1. This is the very first thing you're going to do. You're going to go to your graphics and make sure your graphics for vegetation are on low. Instantly, we can see all the pretty grass is gone. However, you can see things like sticks and rocks so much easier than if you had the vegetation on. This is one tip that I learned a bit too late in the game when I really needed it for foraging, and it's extremely helpful. The next thing we want to do is collect resources. So we need to get wood, rocks, and food. To get wood, we can find sticks on the ground like we saw before, or punch small trees. We can't break the big trees as we do 0 damage. For that, we're going to need to craft an axe a bit later on. You can find berries on these small bushes, and you can also find mushrooms on the forest floor. These are both good sources of starting food. When you find a large patch of berries or mushrooms, it is very useful to mark this on your map. You can do this by selecting a marker, the bottom right of your map, and double clicking where those berries are on your map and typing in a name. I've just put B for berries, so I know exactly what I have marked. The other resource that we really need to be collecting as well are little rocks that we can find on the ground. And since we have our graphic settings on low for vegetation, they should be easy to spot. As you're exploring and collecting resources, be sure to check out all of the ruined houses you find. If you're lucky, you might also find a bit of a ruined village. These houses can contain chests in them with all sorts of goodies for you to take. They sometimes also have a chance to spawn beehives. They are really important as they drop queen bees once you kill them, which allow you to craft your own farmable beehives. They are proximity based, however, and can potentially poison you if you get too close, so don't just attack them with your fists. Mark them on your map to collect later on in the game once you have crafted a bow. By now, you should have enough materials to craft a few things, which you can do if you press the tab button. You want to craft an axe, club, and hammer, as long as you have all the resources for it. The axe will allow you to chop down full-grown beech trees, but beware, when they do fall, they can kill you if they land on top of you, and I figured this one out pretty early. The club is your first basic weapon and helps you deal with the annoying greylings, as well as the boar that will aggro when you get too close. The hammer is a really important tool which will allow you to craft a base, fix up other structures, and craft a workbench, which will allow you to craft more complex game items. Alright, now it's on to the shelter. As there is a pre-existing little hut here, we are just going to use this as our beginning shelter. I won't go into too much detail about base building as I do plan to cover this in another video, so let me know down below in the comments if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing. You will notice that this shelter is kind of weathered and broken. The first thing we have to do though is build a workbench. The workbench allows us to build and fix things in a certain radius of the table. However, to function, it also needs to be sheltered, so we're going to stick it in a little shack for now. Now we can fix up the structure using our hammer by left clicking on each of the pieces to bring it back to brand new. Don't worry, this doesn't cost resources to do, so it won't take anything out of your inventory to fix these pieces. Now that it's all fixed up, we're going to need to build a fire. Fires can be built with a hammer out of wood and rocks. It also provides heat for cooking raw meat that you may have accumulated on your travels so far. Do not put your campfire indoors, as this smoke will actually harm you. You will need to either put it just outside or ventilate the smoke another way. We're just going to put the campfire outside so the smoke doesn't get stuck in the structure for now. Remembering that this won't be our forever home, so it doesn't need to be pretty. The area we are in is definitely not the ideal base location, which I want to talk about in the next video. But it will do for night 1. it is very important that you have that rested icon coming up at the top corner of your screen, as this is something called the rested buff, and it is given by shelter and being close to the fire. So I'm just going to go take out some of this structure so I can access the fire from the shelter. This buff is extremely important. It gives you 50% better health regeneration, 100% better stamina regen, and also a 50% increase to your skill XP gain. So it is extremely helpful to have. The more comfort your person has, the longer that this rested buff will last, and obviously our rested buff is not going to be the longest as our area isn't very fancy. The last important thing to note here is that our spawn point is still the starting position in the world where the Valkyrie dropped us off in the start. In order to reset that spawn point, we actually need to craft a bed, which we can't do until we have workbench level 2. I'm going to talk more about this in the next video when we talk about base building, but thank you guys for watching. If anything helped you out at all, drop a like on the video and subscribe for more content each week. Until next time, stay cool. Bye!